All right, Kate, you got a puppy update for us?
Ugh, Matt, she is still so cute. She is still so cute.
Impossible. Okay.
Yes, she is sleeping really well. She's taking her naps really well. She's doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does a puppy sleep significantly more than a grown dog?
I was not prepared for how much sleep she does need, but yeah. But I also know that the family where we got her, she was the last one to go, and it was just like a mom and a dad with the dogs, and so she came to live with us, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much. So I think we wear her out a bit.
Uh-huh.
So she's sleeping through the night. We've had minimal accidents.
Good.
Yes, she loves to snuggle. She loves to puppy, like, yawn. Oh my gosh, these noises are so cute.
What kind of noises can you do an impersonation?
Wow. Like when she yawns.
Perfect.
It's just this little, like, squeak at the end.
Here we are advertising for puppies on Matt and Kate.
Yes.
Yeah, because they need the help.
Right. Yeah. As if you didn't think they were cute enough. We really need to push puppies.
Yeah.
Yes. We're loving our newest member.
So how much maintenance is involved with this puppy?
I don't know. I'm more worried about maintenance of her grooming. Like, I'm going to have to get her groomed because she's a Labradoodle and she's just like a puffball right now. Like, I already want to get her, like, eyes groomed because her face is so fluffy. Like, you can't even see her eyes.
Oh, I thought they didn't shed very much.
They don't, but they still grow hair.
Oh, so you're just saying she'll look ridiculous?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So she's a Labradoodle, but she looks like a sheepadoodle. Like, she looks kind of like a sheepdog. Like,
oh yeah, she does.
Yeah, that long hair, and so yeah. So I'll have to get. And one of my friends has a Labradoodle, and she said it's really hard to get them in for grooming. So if I can find a place to get her groomed, I need to, like, get her on a schedule so that I always get her groomed in time, and she doesn't look like the shaggy dog.
Right. And can see.
Yes, and can see. That's important. Yeah.
That's a helpful attribute, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of people get by without sight, but it's a nice attribute to have.
Right.
So I am currently on break from Instagram and Facebook. Mm-hmm. Are you making sure to put enough pictures of this puppy into the internet?
I have been, like, trying to hold back because I feel like I could post a ton of pictures.
That's what people want, Kate.
So I'm like, don't want to be that person. Like, wow, Kate got a dog, and now that's all we're seeing is Kate's dog.
By the way, you can see pictures of the puppy at the Matt and Kate Facebook, Kate.
Yeah.
And don't forget, we've also got a free podcast. You know, I know most people appreciate the show with the music and all that stuff, but there are some Matt and Kate diehards that would hear pretty much everything we have to say.
Pretty much everything, not everything.
The Matt and Kate podcast is free in your podcast player. Go get it.
Get it.
But yeah, you should share maximum pictures of this puppy to the internet, Kate. People need to see it. People need the puppies. And not just for listeners of Matt and Kate, but for those unfortunate people who aren't listening, Kate. They need puppies in their timeline.
Need to see Winnie. She's good news in your news feed.
And just like the children, she'll eventually not be so cute and not worthy of sharing.
Eventually. Maybe. No, I'm kidding.
You're living in a golden moment, Kate.
I know.
You've got a 12-year-old, you've got a 10-year-old, and a puppy.
Puppy.
Come on.
I know.
What else do you need over there?
I don't know. I think I'm tapped out.
You don't have any cute things in there? Do you have a robot vacuum yet? I forget.
The robot vacuum is next. Because we made the dog purchase. And so, like, yep, robot vacuum, it's happening.
Oh, you got to get that robot vacuum quick because there could be some hilarity between the robot vacuum and the puppy.
We could put the puppy on the robot vacuum.
Yeah, see? That would be hilarious. But even just the dog looking at the robot vacuum and the robot vacuum looking at the dog and they're studying each other, that's hilarious. Very wholesome entertainment.
Very wholesome.
Yeah.
Matt, you ever go on Tinder? I know you said you're taking a break from Facebook and Instagram, but do you ever go on Tinder?
All right, so Tinder, the dating app, is what you're referencing, right?
Correct.
I have not, and that's not the one I would keep in mind if I were to start using an app.
Okay, so if you were going
But you got something about Tinder?
I did, but you've been on an online dating?
No,
app?
I have not, but if I were, I think I'd go for Bumble, which I believe you still do the swiping thing, but it's the woman who makes the first point of contact.
Okay, so if you were going to do a dating app, you would do Bumble.
Yes, I think that's the correct app. I think I'm getting it right.
Okay. Tinder is now offering a new feature. It's allowing members to run background checks on potential matches.
Background checks. Wow, okay.
Yes, I think this is really smart.
All right, so the Tinder feature that we most recently talked about was the +1 feature, where you could say, hey, I'm looking for a +1 to take to a wedding or whatever, or I'm willing to be someone else's +1. I think that was the last one.
Yes, I think you need to spit that out a lot faster, because when you said +1, I was like, I do not remember that feature, and it sounds kinky as hell. But it is a +1 if you've got a wedding or an event that you have been invited, a +1, not like
a couple looking for a threesome.
Correct. I was like, we talked about that? That's crazy.
I can't believe your mind went there, Kate. You're so dirty.
Dating apps, maybe. Okay, so Tinder is offering 2 free background checks, but after that, it's only $2.50. Why wouldn't you, for $2.50, why wouldn't you background check everyone?
Well, background check's pretty involved, right? Wouldn't you have to consent to that? Sign a release, something like that?
Okay, so if they don't submit to it, then you're not going to get background checked? I mean, if you got nothing to hide.
Okay, so my guess is a lovely lady discovers you on the internet. She's like, oh yeah, I want to go on a date with this guy. But first, I want to do a background check. She clicks the background check button. And then I've got to say, okay, here's my social security number?
No, I would think that Tinder would take... I don't think you have to submit to it, do you? If you sign up for Tinder, I bet you it's in the fine print that you can be subject to background checks.
All right, maybe that's just for employment or something, where you've got to sign off a background check when you're applying for a new job?
Well, I think you're right.
And then I thought you had to give them your social security number, your driver's license, something, right?
Okay, so I recently had to do a background check for our new school, and I did not have to give them any information. I just had to say, yes, I'm fine with background check. Yeah, I'm guessing they know where to get that stuff. If they're checking you, they can get it.
Oh, this is another opportunity to feel bad for someone named John Smith. Or potentially good for them, I guess, if they're horrible and some nice John Smith gets background checked instead.
Yeah, I think that if you don't submit to a background check, they can, then you can't be on. I don't know.
All right, so background checks before the date.
I always think that that's a good idea, especially in those very specific dating apps, like Christian Mingle or...
Oh.
Well, what's the one where it's like silver something?
Oh, for older people?
For old... Yeah, where I feel like those people are super vulnerable. If I was a bad guy, that's where I'd go hang out, is with the old people or the Christian Mingles, because you would think that they are just ready and wanting to find that person. And if I'm a bad guy, I'm like, you're just shooting fish in a barrel. I just feel bad.
Always picking on the Christians, huh, Kate?
No, not hating on the Christians. I'm feeling bad because I feel like that's a golden opportunity for bad people to go after vulnerable people.
Right, because they could have bad faith.
Well, or they could say, all
right, take advantage of someone's faith.
Jesus sent me to you. You should send me money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a specific, where if it's like Tinder or Bumble, there's bad people everywhere. I just hope that I don't know. I feel a sympathy, or I feel an urge to protect the people who are on dating apps that are very specific.
Yeah, it's too bad because someone might have gone their whole life. They've they're 80 years old and have only encountered nice people. And so they trust pretty much everyone, and then boom.
Mm-hmm.
One day they run into the wrong person and get scammed.
Right. Or believe that people are good.
Well, that's a helpful, depressing reminder on Matt and Kate. Kate?
Background check.
Yeah, get your background check on Tinder, apparently.
Oh, my gosh.
Man, so Tinder really has that market cornered, at least when it comes to top-of-mind awareness.
Right.
I don't have those numbers in front of me now, and I'm trying to resist the urge to Google everything we talk about on the show.
Gotcha. Yeah. I was going to say Match.com.
Maybe Match.com's for geriatric millennials?
Maybe. But is Tinder and Bumble, are they more like instant dates versus Match.com's like relationship?
Oh, you mean like casual hookup apps?
Yeah.
Well, I guess compared to Match.com, maybe.
Yeah. We should do something for the show, Matt. Some sort of experiment.
Okay.
We should do a Matt profile.
All right. So, many times we talk about how you should do something for the show. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I did not, for example, pressure you into getting a puppy, right?
Correct.
Because of the whole, puppies are awesome. Listeners love the puppies. They're great for the show.
Right.
And I know our listeners are into dating and romance stuff, but I'm like,
It's for the show, Matt.
So your daughter keeps on trying to wake up the napping puppy?
And we talked to her yesterday, like, you never wake a sleeping baby.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. And she's just snoozing. She's all wrapped up in her blanket. And Elliot's got puppy dog eyes going, come on, let me take the dog. No.
All right, so we know your daughter Elliot is really into the puppy, your 10-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
What about Finn, your 12-year-old?
We needed Finley to help Winnie take a nap yesterday. And by help Winnie take a nap, we just lay next to her. Don't touch her, just lay next to her. And so Finley brought the switch over and Winnie nuzzled onto her arm. But Finley's involved. She's aware. She thinks she's really cute. But like Finley's not jumping at the bit to take her outside. And when we had Finley take her outside, like she was outside for maybe like 2 minutes. She's like, well, she didn't go, so brought her in.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Which we kind of knew that was going to happen, but...
Interesting. All right, well, first off, Nintendo Switch is what you're referencing when you said...
Yes.
Brought the Switch over.
Yes.
But what is the standard time one is supposed to wait for the dog to do its business before coming back inside?
Well, I don't know.
No?
I would say plenty of time, but it is cold out. So we don't want her to like say, okay, they're just going to take me in and then I can go pee. So she's been doing really good though. She has only had like 2 accidents and thank goodness they were both number ones. So
was there any thought put into the time of year to get the puppy?
No.
You're not like, hey, let's wait until spring. That way we don't have to potty train the puppy in the dead of winter?
That's what I first thought. Like, you don't get a puppy during the winter because then you're going to have to potty train in the winter. But my aunt was like, who has 2 black labs who are almost 2. Yeah. She was like, they go faster because they don't want to be outside. So they go out and they go faster. But I don't remember like the very beginning stage. But she's 10 weeks and she's still trying to figure out the lay of the land. And so, and still trying to like squat. And sometimes she sits down and we're like, did she go? Is she just sitting there? What's happening?
Oh, she fooling me.
So just trying to be patient.
Yeah.
Yep. But last night she must have had a dream or something because she made this terrible, like, it wasn't a whine and it wasn't a yelp. But I was like, oh gosh, that's her telling me she's got to go. And I like flung out of bed really fast. And she was like still snuggled in. And I'm like, what just happened? And Monty was like, I think she was dreaming. because she wasn't caught in like the kennel. She wasn't wrapped up in her, she was just snuggled in just fine.
All right. So Winnie the puppy.
Winnie,
yes. Named after the poo.
Winnie.
Not after the character from Wonder Years.
Correct. But my cousin looks like Winnie Cooper and married Kevin Arnold. So when I told her we were naming the dog Winnie, she was like, well, you can't call me Winnie Cooper anymore. I go, oh, not to your face, I guess.
Not to her face? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I can still call her Winnie Cooper. Maybe I shouldn't call her Winnie Cooper if my dog's name is Winnie. I don't know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Is it because you're worried that you're calling your cousin a dog?
No, I just, like, if you give the dog your nickname, then you can't have the nickname anymore. I don't know.
So, Kate, do you have any family members, like extended family, who have been radicalized by the internet? I mean, like, I don't expect your 10-year-old Elliot to be into QAnon or some extremist stuff.
No, she is radical in her own ways.
Good job.
Yeah.
You haven't let her get radicalized by the internet yet.
No, not by the internet. No.
And what's the age you're supposed to allow your kids to get radicalized by the internet, Kate?
Oh, what do you think? 16?
All right. Okay.
That's the responsible radicalizing age.
You know, when we've talked historically about why I hate Facebook, one of the reasons is I don't like to see family members be all radicalized by the internet, by weirdness there.
Well, if it's online, it's pretty much true all the time.
Yep. That's what Abraham Lincoln said.
90% of the time, it works all the time.
Abraham Lincoln.
Yes. The vampire hunter.